Welcome to Home Cinema and Tech Review. In this video, I just wanted to make a difference in my entrance. So I thought this is going to be cool. So let me know what you think. I'm going to review Wanbo X5, and this is going to be probably one of the most detailed Wanbo X5 review in the world. And for that, this video is not going to be short. So get yourself a cup of coffee or tea and relax and try to enjoy this detailed review. So this video will be having parts, so you can select your part and learn more about the Wanbo X5. But before that, I just want to make sure you don't skip the parts by telling you in the end of the video, if you decide to purchase Wanbo X5, they gave me the most, at least they told me, they are going to give me the most discount code probably that you can find on the net. So check out the description of this video if you ever want to purchase Wanbo X5 after this video. You're going to be finding the code below. When you do purchase with that code, you're going to get a discount and they're going to help my channel. So it's up to you. But my opinions are my own. So as always, I'm going to tell the truth as I know it. So before diving into details, I told some of you guys, if you're watching and my old videos, in the shorts, I mentioned Wanbo Mozart 1 and DaVinci 1 Pro has come to me. Yes, they did. But I'm not going to make a comparison video in this one, because if I do, this video will be a hell of a lot longer and you're going to probably hate me for that. And I'm going to probably do the side-by-side versus videos in a different video setup. Like probably I will do X5 versus Mozart 1 and X5 versus DaVinci, DaVinci 1 versus Mozart 1, and also maybe 3 of them side-by-side, one versus another video will come in a separate video sections in the channel, and comparisons takes more time than the regular reviews. So I know you want to learn everything in a single video when it's long like my videos, but still it's difficult for me. We're going to take a look at Wanbo X5 by its own. So, but in the advanced section of my early experiences, I've reviewed T2 Max New. I've used TT for a long time. I haven't reviewed it, but used it for a long time, Wanbo TT. And also I have used and reviewed Wanbo Mozart 1, as you see the box there. So I have a lot of experience with different Wanbo models. I will share some of the information, but my Wanbo complete buying guide is still online as a video. I will also share it at the description down below, so you can go back and watch that. I create a detailed table like all the technical specs and I explain a lot of stuff. So if you're on a tight budget and you will consider different models from Wanbo 2 and for that matter. So what you're going to see in this video then, I'm trying to make this entrance as short as possible. I'm going to dive deep onto the X5 soon. I got a measurement tool and I will measure the true Ansilumen brightness of the X5 as I usually do. So you'll get the Ansilumen true power of it. But when I do that, I will do it in the standard mode. I'm not going to push the limits of brightness and try to get the best out of it. I'm going to get the image that it delivers automatically. I'm not going to push the device. I'm just going to check as it is out of the box, because many of the general users for this device intended probably is going to take it out from the box and directly use it because it's easy. And the second thing we are going to look at is gaming latency. We're going to record the latency of this device so you can have a clear idea what kind of games you can play. And then you're going to see the box content. You're going to see the physical close-up shots of the X5, and you're going to hear a little bit of sound of it because it is a late 12. I'm shooting, my wife is sleeping, my kids in sleep. So I'm not going to push the audio, but I will record from up close and you'll get audio, let's just say audio quality feeling of it with your earbuds. So you're going to get a clear audio identity of this device. By the way, in the beginning, I can tell you, by the way, this device doesn't have the speakers of the Mozart 1 and the DaVinci Pro, basically. But what you expect, what you should be expecting, I will share at the conclusion, because I've used this device for a couple of weeks and I know how it performs. By the way, I will also show most of the things in this video too for you to see. Full menu might be, maybe for some of you, it's kind of like boring, but I will show the entire menu, what this device can do. And you can skip some of the parts, but please don't skip the entire video because it helps the channel. And subscribe. This is the most important part. In the beginning, I just want to remind you again, to get the codes for you, get products to review for you, and to grow the channel, it's important that you comment, because YouTube checks comments. If everybody watches and just likes and no comment, it's getting popular by the likes. It's also important, don't forget the like. If you ever watch the video and learn something from any of my videos, go back and try to hit play button. And if you're able to keep it up until the end, it will help the channel, because YouTube looks 2 or 3 things. One, have you liked the video? Second, how much have you watched the video, like hit the play button and then didn't go out, or have you skipped the parts? YouTube checks all these algorithms, and if you haven't subscribed or not. So to help the channel to grow and learn more, ask questions, ask in the comment sections. By the way, your questions are quite important, and I'm getting them and making some of them becoming review videos, or like a tutorial videos for that matter. So your questions becoming video sources for me, and also to learning source, information source, I guess, for you. So without further ado, we're going to be diving the Wanbo X5 review. But one last thing that I want to tell you is, in this section, you're going to see the room. By the way, you're real time seeing the room in a, let's just check the room lights. Ambient light is on. This is Philips Hue light bulb, and also Philips, other than that, Philips light strip below the couch. So this room is kind of like a dimly lit, mid-level lit room. I can clearly see texture of this couch, and I can read books here because of the bouncing back light from the wall. So when I close the full ambient light, you are seeing a 135-inch image, but my camera setting is in the auto mode right now. Reason that is, actually, our eyes also adjust automatically to dramatic changes, like high pitch of whites and also darkest points of the blacks. But one more thing, I just want you to see in a dynamic range as much as I can see. But if I do it all the time, you're going to get a wrong idea about the product, because when you watch other YouTubers, they tend to create an ambient light setup, fixed, okay? They tend to tune their cameras to it, and then they adjust the brightness level according to the projector to get the best image. That might be right, but when you do it, when I expose for this screen, the rest of the room will look dark. When I adjust for the room, the screen might be extremely brighter than you're going to actually see. So there is a point between what I'm telling you right now. Like, the worst situation for this screen, room gets dark, or you think it's a pretty dark room. And otherwise, if I adjust for the room, then you're thinking, oh, this is a pretty bright projector. So it's difficult to capture for YouTubers too. I'm a professional photographer over 15 years, and it's difficult for me too, but I'm trying my best, and I'm also telling and sharing my information with you. So you have to trust the YouTuber to tell you the truth. Otherwise, it's kind of like difficult to really show what these devices are really delivering. And I will share all the information that you need in the conclusion. So this is the fully lights on for ambient light. And if I adjust to half levels, this is a 50%. This is Philips Hue controlled smartly. So this is, as you can see, quite a bit of still good image. Camera adjusted again, but still, it's a good image. So without further ado, let's dive in the Wanbo X5 detailed review section by section. In this section of the video, I'd like to show you the box content as quickly as possible. We got a remote control that we are quite familiar with, Wanbo Mozart 1, and I think this is one of the simplest and most elegant designs in the market. And we have a power cable, which is for me one of the most practical ones, because you can get extra longer versions of this cable and do not worry about the rest of its life of this projector. Don't get me wrong, this is far more than enough, but if you want a longer cables, you can easily purchase longer versions of these type of cables. Internal power supply is a good thing. Let's get another take down. This is the user manual, and as you can see, it tells a lot about stuff, and from reverse and the front element. It's a long user manual. We already know a lot of the settings. And by the look of the box size, this is a 32 centimeters to 31 centimeters. And from the thickness of it, it is about 17 centimeters thickness box. And there is another external brown box above this box. So it is kind of like a quite, considering the Wanbo T2 Max and T4, maybe TT level devices, this is a big device. When I put my hand, you can clearly see this is a rectangle design, so the device size will be in the details, but roughly 26 centimeters to 23 centimeters, and from the height I'm talking roughly 11.5 centimeters. And the only thing left is this cover, and this is covering the front element, the glass, the protective plastic that it comes with. So that is the box content as quick as possible. In this section of the video, I just want to share every physical ability of the X5 up close. So we got the camera that makes available for autofocus and of course auto screen placement. Camera is here, Wanbo logo is here. That's a cool touch. We got a good big glass that is probably bigger than my 3-finger. That's a 4-finger huge space with a good glass, big glass in it. That's why the image is sharp with the Wanbo models most of the time compared to others. So we got a golden touch here that adding a color. You might like it, or you might want silver, but it's a taste, so it's giving a little bit of color. And up top we don't see too much of a thing. Let me just look at it. We got a power button. Let me just rotate it. We got a power button here, return button here, up, down, left, right, and the center OK button. So we can basically do every function from the remote control from the device itself. That's a good thing to have. Some of the products don't have in the market. So at the back, what do we have? We have HDMI port, we got AV, we got headphones, 3.5 millimeter jack, we got 2 USB ports. That means you can use your hard drive, and also you are going to be able to use it to power your Realme, Roku dongle, or Amazon Fire Stick, whatever you have. Even though that you don't need it most of the time, you have the internal smart functions, but you might want to use your 4K dongle or to give it a 4K YouTube videos and whatnot. So that's a good option to have a 2 USB port, one for the hard drive, one you might want to use it with your 4K dongle. But you already have the internals. And designed by Wanbo, that's a good, plus design sign, simplistic. So we got probably, this is the speaker, if I remember correctly. This is the power input. This one is the one that I loved a lot, because you can use this sort of cables and you can purchase very cheap, longer cables for this setup. Internal power is great, but to use this setup is far more than I ever wanted from a projector, because you can buy a longer cables and place the projector far from your wall plugs. So when we take a look at the right of the projector, if you hold it from the back, from the front, this is the left area. This is the exhaust area, and if you look closely, maybe you will see the inside cooler metals fins. But from this area, the other side, the one that close to the lens, this is the intake area, and I will return it. As you can see, this is the intake area, and we got a filter input here. If I rotate it, there is a kindly reminder, please clean the dust in a monthly basis regularly. When you push it, it just comes out quickly. That's a plus from my side, to be able to clean easily and also give a clean air into the device. That's a plus from me. So we got the specs from here. As you can see, Wanbo X5 model and the logo here. You got two legs. One is higher than the other. As you can see, they are coming separately. If you really adjust it, let me just show it from the side. As you can see, it opens up a little longer. This is the smaller version of the leg. As you can see, this is little less, but you can place it on any tabletop or bookshelf to give it a little bit of angle, and it will automatically correct the image later on, so make it flat. That's a good thing. So this is great for lower tables or tabletop projections. But one thing that you might be looking out for, you don't have a 1/4 inch screw hole. The reason is this is a heavy and big device probably, and Wanbo didn't put this with intention, I guess, because of the T2 Max, T4 and the TT, kind of like a square-ish and a little higher design is kind of like a more center weight, and those are a lot less heavier than this. So basically you have to find a plate like I showed you early in the channel, or place it on a bookshelf or tabletop. So that's why probably they didn't put a 1/4 inch hole on it. But I didn't remove the feet, the silicone feet. They are kind of like cool in my opinion, gray and a little bit of giving the height by its own. So also this makes this device sturdy. That's the physical part of the Wanbo X5. I think I've covered probably everything there is to cover. One more thing, if you're wondering about the build quality, it feels like sturdy, like the T2 Max New that I got early, and other models like T6, TT basically feel similar. I'm not going to say the same thing about the Mozart one. I guess Mozart one is basically a little bit different than this. We're going to compare the side-by-side video later on in the channel, so it's not the topic of this video, but the physical quality is quite sturdy, and this feels a real qualified device. When you hold it, the weight, the cooler's weight, and the build quality, the shape of it, it looks quite good. By the way, a little distortion might happen because of my camera is wide angle, but regularly you're going to see some other angles in this in this video. So this section, physical close-ups, is over. In this section, I'm going to make something crazy. It's not logical, but let me just show you. I'm going to take the projector. This section, I want to show you how easy the autofocus is in a worst case scenario. Let me just rotate it and rotate it back. Okay, this is a worst case scenario. There is a box over there and chair is on the way and the top is like hitting to the ceiling. It's kind of like a worst case scenario. Look what it does. It couldn't made, okay, it might be looking bad for you on the angle of the top right. It couldn't make the correction because it couldn't get the bottom corner. Like here, there is a Wanbo Mozart 1 box, but this is a worst case scenario. The depth is not the same. The surface is not in the same depth because the box is probably 30 centimeters. Still, it creates autofocus. Let me just do something crazy. I will hold it, okay? If the power cable allow me, let me just show you. By the way, this is a 150 inch. Let me just rotate it and get it back. Let me just hold it. I'm doing it in the real life, real time. This is crazy. This is 150 inch and some of the image is on the mirror itself, okay? It's not perfectly maybe to you as an image. Right now I'm holding it upwards, downwards, and some of it goes to the ceiling, but it's kind of like, as you can see, it just understand it and adjusting again. It really focused. It's crazy. So this is easy. I just want to make this point clear. And as you can see, every time you move back and forth and yes, made an adjustment, it couldn't corner correct. I get it, but basically this is a worst case scenario. So it's working quite good on the autofocus section. When we completed this section, let's continue to the other parts. Well, I just want to show you something crazier because I think this is kind of like probably some scenarios for people. I don't recommend you to project from a, very more than 20-degree angle, maybe more than 10-degree angle, because if you project from an angle, I made a dedicated video, you need to project straight as possible. But let me just show you some crazy setup, okay? So some of this visual is on the TV and it's not reflecting properly, okay? Just look at this, what's going to happen. It's focused, an image corrected. That is sick. Some of the visual was on the TV. I am amazed. I'm not making jokes about it. Like, this is not the ideal setup that you should be projecting. Like right now, we are projecting probably 30 to 40 degrees angle. It's not ideal because optically you're not doing the best. This is the worst setup, but this is quite easy to use. Like, you can put it on a bookshelf and it will probably focus and success. That makes this available for any kind of like situation, like bedroom, kitchen, also summertime, like outside the home. Just take it out and project something on. This is the setup that we are going to shoot the menu. So the left corner is not going to be precisely focused because we are projecting like a 40-degree worst angle, 30 to 40-degree worst angle possible. So don't focus on the full sharpness of the image, but take a look at the brightness level. Right now the TV on the side on the right is 65-inch. This is about 75-inch or 70-inch image, so it's quite big. Probably this is a 75-inch image. So I will get close, okay, with the camera. Let me just shake it a little bit for you, even though we have gimbal and stuff. And I'm going to, yes, I am in front of the light, sorry for that. So I'm going to lower the camera and get back a little bit for you guys. So let's just, without getting in front of the image. So right now in this section, I'm going to show you the entire menu of this device. So first thing is first, we got search. It's not interesting, but you can search anything. You are seeing nearly everything here. MX Player, Yandex, and YouTube Kids, Spotify, YouTube Music, Vice Play, Android TV, and Plex. Plex is something interesting if you're into sort of things like dedicated video servers and stuff, Amazon Prime and Disney Plus. So when we come to the home, the up top we got animation. Let's just go below. I got three things. As you can see, I can change the up top menu, and right beneath it I got on the left Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, YouTube, Spotify, and Cloudy, Red Bull TV, Kids, Plex, and trending apps if you open trending apps, and most watched videos. So this is nothing interesting for me, but if you go detail, you can get much more detail. By the way, don't focus on the sharpness because in this section, like I told you, we're projecting with the worst angle possible. So left side of the image is going to be a little bit softer than it should be, but it's still quite good to watch. So when we come to the apps, we're going to see the videos, news, music, sports, and lifestyle. And Miracast is for casting if you want to cast to this device. Chrome browser, that's a good thing. If you can connect your USB keyboard and mouse, you can use it like a PC because it has Android inside. Speaker mode, file manager, app store, and we got streaming documents, DocuBay, via Play for Android TV, so Dailymotion, RTVA, La Carta, and Vice Play for Android TV. So if you want to cast to this device wirelessly, you can. When you hit the Miracast, let me just show you the menu. As you can see, on your Android mobile, open up the setting menu, extra displays, and Miracast review the wire. Settings. This is for, yes, casting. And since I don't have an Apple phone, I'm not going to judge this section. Okay. And let me just go back to the menu button. And you can do the same thing. Let me just show you from up top. When you go up, you got a video section here. and music section here. By the way, if you go to the video, of course, videos, movies and whatnot just comes into way. And when you go above, like music section, you see the musics that you listen. And then settings section is simple. We got settings, source, options, and USB. If you got a USB dongle, you should be using that to watch the movies and maybe from your hard drive. I'm using most of the time 2.5-inch hard drive for the movies. And when you go to options, what do we have? Terms of use, privacy, and AD options. Add, which means ads probably. So I go back from that. The source is obvious. We got three sources: HDMI, AV, and USB. The most focused ones is HDMI and USB, I guess. And the internal is more than enough, like you're seeing in this video. So network settings. Network settings is easy. Right now I have wireless is on, and I'm not going to show you the entire wireless list. It's connected. Bluetooth settings. Right now we haven't connected anything Bluetooth, but as you can see, I got my Epson LS300 Osmo Pocket 3 camera that I shoot, and also I have LG GX series soundbar when I open it, and I also use my earbuds. And without the problem, I suggest to get yourself an earbud or headphone to use it. If you want to use it as a single person, you don't need a soundbar too. You can just enjoy it with your earbuds without not much of a latency if you're having a good earbuds, depending on your earbuds or your headphones. Language settings. We got probably every language possible if you ever need to change one to another. So it's not going to be a problem. As you can see, huge amount of language, just like any Android device. Input method is here. Lean key keyboard input methods. I'm going to stuck with the regular one. Android keyboard settings. If I hit it, we got Chinese, English, and interchangeable setup. And beside that, we got date and settings, time zone, application settings. Let's take a look what we can see from here. Let's hit it again. Wait a while. Are we going to see anything? Nope. System update is there if we ever need to update, but let's take a look. Your version is already updated, it says. That's good stuff, but having the update online is good. Source options, input source options like HDMI, AV, and off. You could use HDMI or off. Power on options, standby, direct, and standby. If you open up the other hardware from HDMI, it might open up. Scheduled shutdown, that's good stuff. Screensaver, 5-minute. Picture mode. Picture mode, as you can see, vivid, soft, computer mode, and user. And we're going to take a look at this quickly, but I need to adjust my camera fixed settings. I will do it in the auto mode for you. Let's just make it. Have you seen any difference? Right now, because camera is auto adjusting, it's very difficult to show you the difference. I need to make it fixed. So I will probably shoot another section for this. I will go back, and between the picture mode, let's get back. Sound mode. We got sound mode, standard, news, music, movie, and I'm going to use it in the standard. And volume control. As you can see, we can open up the volume, but late at night. I guess we probably factory reset, and we got, I guess, everything there is to look out for. We finished the entire menu. So that's about it. In this section of the video, we're going to take a look at the settings of the visual content, like if you ever want to change the projector picture mode. Because when you get into this mode, I like about it, I will get close to it. Wanbo just gives you a little bit of sound also and shows you different settings. That's why I create a dedicated fixed settings for the camera, so the exposure will remain the same. This is the standard mode, okay? Watch a couple of seconds, and when I get vivid mode, it will just automatically pop up some details, and some things are getting kind of like overexposed. When I get soft, the whites and overglows just drops down and you can see the details. I guess this is a good looking image. And the computer mode is like just like bright and popped out. And the users I can define. Let me just go back to the standard. Okay, standard from the soft. Let's just take a look at the overexpose and how it dim it down. Again, standard. I will go soft. Just wait a while and just look at the yellow. You can see the details much more clearly. But if you want to push to the edge, create like a brighter image, then you want to pick vivid. Vivid is kind of like extreme, blowing out a lot of stuff. Because the one thing is positive. The Wanbo is giving you this setting with this sort of video, so you can really understand what you're about to see in the overall video quality. If you push it like the computer, you get details, sharpness. If you go soft, you get your high tones and mid tones. If you go standard, it's overall punchy. And if you want to adjust manually, that's great to have the clarity, contrast, saturation, and the brightness. If you don't want too much of a brightness, you can always dim it down and get the best picture possible. I will shot and test in the 50 like standard mode, but if you push to the edge like a computer mode, you can get more brightness out of it. And I might, test it in 2 different modes to get a clear idea how bright this is, because I want to tell the brightness. So this section is over. So in this section, I want to shoot another part, because Wanbo's standard setting might not be applied to you. Like having those pictures can give you a clear idea before starting to watch a movie, but every movie and every game acts differently. So when you hit the setting buttons up top corner of your remote, you got your picture control and sound control. That's good because you can adjust same stuff inside the game. Let's change it from standard to vivid. When I push to vivid extremely, it just push also against the sharpness. As you can see, from standard we got 50-50-50, and when we got vivid, we got contrast 75 and saturation 75, and sharpness is 75. It's pushing too much, like for my taste for digitally. When you go soft, you get the details. Take a look at this. Yes, you get the contrast, but when you like this, you get the more exposures in the same screen. So you got blown up areas. When you go vivid mode, yes, you got the brightness, but you're going to lost along the way of toning of HDR or details in the highlights and shadows, some of them. But in the dark scenes, if you're watching something, you can adjust. That's the good stuff. When in the PC mode, it's also pushing again the 50-50-50. So nothing too extreme, but PC mode I think is overall good mode about the sharpness and stuff. And you can use push your luck with users, and I tend to use the user, but most of the time standard mode is kind of like okay. But if you want to get the details, I guess the soft is good. It depends on your taste. I like punchy images, and for Netflix and shows like Amazon Prime, and also for gaming like this. So it's about your taste. I will be recording most of the stuff with the standard mode, and in the end I will share my settings if you prefer to use with your X5 to get the best picture. I will create another tutorial for single LED projectors or maybe budget projectors. I will create another video to get the best. And so this section is over for picture quality and toning of the X5. In this section, I am going to make a voiceover. Sorry about that. You're going to see me talking and my voice is not matching the visual. How I measured the brightness is simply divided the screen into 9 different rectangles with my Unity calculator. I measured the lux level, and then I made, added each number to another and divided by 9. So I got an average exposure of lux level, and then we are going to multiply it by square meter. The image that you see in this section is about 70.5 inch, and the square meter already been calculated. The total number that I get after my third calculation of the screen brightness with the 75% brightness on from the Wanbo X5 is 531 Ansilumen in real power. So this is a quite powerful projector for this price range. Hey, in this section, you might be thinking, 531. Wanbo is declaring too high. No, everybody is in the same train. I am not trying to defend the Wanbo, but when you're thinking about the real numbers, well, a lot of the manufacturers are not delivering the real numbers in real life. So let me give you an example. Early in my Wanbo Mozart 1 review video, I compared it with the Epson TW7000 projector, and it had probably, if I remember correctly, you can go back and check it out, 78% of its declaration. It was a $1,500 4K Epson TW7000 against the less than $400 Wanbo Mozart 1 at that stage. So even that expensive projector only could deliver 78% of its power output from their declaration. So it is normal for brands to declare higher because everybody is in the same train. Everybody is trying to declare the highest number because this is the competition. I get that. I am giving you the real power, and real power is 531 in my calculations. And thumbs up will be great because I measured it 3 times. In the second time, I realized, right after the second time I made my measurement, I realized my ambient light is open, so I need to close them to get the room in a pitch black level. So this took a lot of time. And after that, I realized my microphone was out because of the battery. Some of the sections in this video will be voiced over. Sorry about that, but the information is correct, so you can live up with that. 75% brightness doesn't change too much of a thing if you go to the 50%. I also measured that. Like, it will be probably changing from 530 to probably 515-ish level. So adjusting the brightness, it's not going to be hugely dropping down the brightness level. So you don't have to go to 75. I measured and got my shots from 55% most of 50% most of the time, and I made my adjustments versus the TV. So you're going to see this image, Wanbo X5 image against the 65-inch QNED latest TV versus, and also you're going to see it from 65, 100, 135, 150, and 180-inch image all in the same video. So you're going to get a clear idea. This is definitely a powerful projector for a dark room and dimly lit room. This section is over, and we're going to go to the next. In this part of the video, I am on the right showing you my LG 816 65-inch QNED 2023 144 Hz 4K gaming capable TV. And on the left, you're going to see same image size from Wanbo X5 tune up with my custom settings. So I try to match the colors and the contrast as much as possible. Of course, there will be differences, but let me just remind you, TV on the right is about $1,500 in my country. It could be less in yours, but roughly it is about $1,000 and above level TV, and it's a 65-inch TV. On the left, we got X5. When everybody thinks about comparison projectors, you're thinking about quite a big screen, but you can definitely use X5 in a small room setup just as a TV, as you can see here. Even in the dimly lit environment, this image will get you there. So I am probably going to start playing the video here. I'm waiting. And yes, by the way, the video source is from Xbox Series X for the Wanbo X5. So definitely I'm giving the 4K footage, and that helps the sharpness for the videos. So don't forget about this. If you give best video, you're going to get better image. Don't forget about this. I'm going to probably make a dedicated video with close-ups. And right now I'm showing you the picture mode is in the user. My brightness is 50. I didn't push it, but my contrast is 70 and saturation is 77 to catch the TV level. But you don't have to do that. If you want to get the details in the highlighted areas, you can go soft version of the image. This was just to catch the TV level, but definitely in the darker scenes, TV manages to pull out the darker colors more than the X5. Considering the X5 price, that is normal. But when we take a look at these pictures side by side, of course, TV is more contrasted and the sharpness is higher because the TV is real 4K. Wanbo is full HD projector. So when you're trying to compare one another, don't get mixed up. But I'm just telling you, if you go small, 65, 75 or 85, what you can get like a TV with the X5. Of course, the color gamut is not the same. You can clearly see on the right, TV is delivering something different when it comes down to the colors. So the color gamut can be seeable here, but how on earth are you going to put Wanbo X5 right beside an QLED TV? You are not going to do that. Let's just get real. When you see the images, you're not going to put it right beside a much more expensive TV or much more expensive projector. Of course, in the dark areas and the detailed color tone and the shadows, we're not going to get the HDR specs of the TV as you can see here. So it's up to you. But for my taste and for the budget that the Wanbo X5 is delivering within that budget, I don't see a downside of its fall. Like many of you guys are always talking about the like color gamut, talk about the color gamut, yes, what we are losing and stuff. If you definitely see side by side stuff, or if your eyes are quite exercised about testing a lot of products like me, then you can clearly see in the first hand. Let me just stop you here. Take a look at the grass and the the bunny. You can clearly tell the dynamic range and the color gamut difference here and the shadow loss. But again, on the right, it's probably 5 times and more, like probably close to the 8 or 9 times expensive TV. And I think it's a great image considering price. In this section of the video, I'm going to show you the size difference with a fixed exposure recording. So that way you're going to get a clear idea if you go far back and create a huge image with the X5, which you can. Is it going to be livable or usable? It's of course up to you. You're going to see me quite a bit in darkness. And the screen size that you're watching right now at the beginning of this section is 117 inch, 260 centimeter wide. This is a huge screen. This is about 4 times of a 65-inch TV, huge size. So when I pull back all these things, and it will probably make the autofocus, the second size is 305 from the wall to the unit. I measured all these to show you. By the way, I'm shaking the projector to make it autofocus, and it will autofocus with this worst condition. Again, I'm repeating this because it's making the autofocus quite good. Take a look at this light fixture and everything, and the boxes. It makes the focus completely absolute. So of course, it couldn't do the keystone correction, so you might want to adjust it, but this is with the light fixture and with boxes. Worst case scenario, 137 inch. This is still, as the brightness level, easily usable video and easily usable bright video, if you ask me. So this is probably the ideal limit of the X5, in my opinion, around 120 to 135 in my taste in a dark room. But you can go far back and create a big image, and I'm going to show you in a couple of seconds. Probably I'm going to pull this thing far back just to show you how stupid size that you can make, because basically, really, for this price and for this amount of brightness, I don't recommend it, but I'm going to show you until the right side of the edge of the mirror at the right. You're going to see image will be, if I could have done that, but I didn't. I'm going to tell you the reason, because I was getting too close to the second seats at my back, and I didn't want to go push the limits with the cables. So until the edge of the mirror, I got 418 centimeters, which is 186 inch. It's going to territory of 180 plus inch. So right now it is probably 175 inch because I missed some of the pieces of the mirror on the right, I double check the focus. As you can see, some of the image is on the ceiling, but it still did a great focus. And I rechecked it by getting close and checking with the remote control. Yes, it did really focus. So it is also amazing. Even probably maybe 15% of the image is on the ceiling and it uses them to focus. Without them, it is really focused with the chairs in front, boxes in the front, and also a mirror on the front of this device. So Wanbo X5 is really capable focusing. By the way, the lights are gone because of the Xbox controller. I need to touch it probably. Yes. So can you make a big screen with the Wanbo X5? In a dark room, you can use it up to 150 in my opinion. Like this 175, it's little getting pale or my taste, little lower on the brightness side, but still watchable. You can enjoy it. If you're going to sit up close, the amount of light will be same. So it's not going to change the way you feel about it, but you're going to lose the highlights in the bright scenes. So my recommendation is 135, like 3-meter length is ideal for this projector for a big size. But if you want to achieve the best brightness and with the soft, like getting the volume down of the projector to get the details of the highlights, not the overall popped out overexposed areas, when you make it soft, image lose a little bit of the brightness that you've seen in the menus. So you should be sticking around 100, 120 inch range. And I'm pushing back again in the end of this section to make it again 117 or 120 inch. And it's refocused again, as you can see. Is it a good image? I think it's a good image, about 120. In a pitch black room, you can use it, but if you're going to use it in a lit room, 100 inch and little less, like 90, will be perfect. You can use it quite a bit of different scenarios. In this section of the video, my omnidirectional microphone is closed with the camera to the Wanbo X5 and I'm a little bit of shouting. This is late at night and my kid is in the sleep, and I'm going to stop this video, start it and play the sound. This is a breaking copyright run in by Gentrax, Japanese track, and I'm going to play it by, right now the audio volume is 6, so focus on the quality and try to forget about the fan noise, because you're not going to be sticking your head to this unit. And I'm going for 10%, 15, 20%. So I told you in the beginning of the video, this audio section won't be long because it's late at night, probably past 1 o'clock. I'm going to 2 o'clock section. So with the bass, we clearly have a little bit of less bass, but it's clear enough to listen music and also be able to watch quite a bit of content on the casual side of things. It's powerful, but it's lacking a little bit of bass compared to Wanbo Mozart 1 and probably the DaVinci 1 Pro, but I will make my overall conclusion at the end. So this is the sound section, kind of like finished. Welcome to the end of this video. Hopefully I'm going to finish this video. It's late at 2 o'clock at night, so everybody's sleeping. What do we have at the Wanbo X5? We got a bright projector, we got a good autofocus, auto correction, and also you can keystone correct 4-corner keystone style. We got a good remote performance. We got a fast Android performance. We got over 500 Ansilumen real power, so we can create 180-inch images with this projector, although I don't recommend for full HD resolution. You can clearly create 100-inch pretty good image, and also 120 up to 120 you are okay with in a darkroom environment. In a dimly lit room, maybe even a little bit of mid-level lit room, you are quite okay with a 100-inch, but you're going to lose a little bit of contrast if you don't have a custom screen that creates a little bit of contrast on a white wall. If you open up the lights, it's not just about the projector, it's also about the ambient light. So this is a quite good projector on the budget. So what do we have? Positives then. These are positives, but what about the negatives? You're going to lack a little bit of about the sound, but for the bass, not about, for the amount of the volume. Amount of the volume is okay technically, but basically you're going to lack a little bit for the bass side. That's normal for the price. You got a Mozart one for that, you got a DaVinci one for that for the Wanbo side. So if you're looking for the higher bass, and if you're going to use entirely this unit's speaker, and for the movies, action movies like Mission Impossible, maybe Fast and Furious style, or maybe Aquaman, kind of like a big bada boom, kind of like an explosion and stuff. So you might want to add some sort of speaker to this device, or something like me, get yourself a good Bluetooth headphone or earbuds, and then watch it with a high-end volume with a much less cost. Wherever you move, sound comes with you, and you won't be bothering anybody else. And I made a dedicated video for that. So you got a Bluetooth connection, you can connect anything. So basically, if you want bass, you gotta upgrade maybe Mozart 1 to DaVinci 1 Pro. Other than that, this is the brightest, one of the brightest projectors that you can get for the price. And you might be lacking for the negative side of things, color gamut. And when people ask about, before the review for this projector, what about the color gamut? What about the color gamut? What about the money that you pay? Like how much you pay, how much you want. So if you want the extreme color gamut, you got to pay for that. So this projector delivers something between like a price performance. It's not the best projector out there, but it's not the worst. It's just delivering the quality for the budget. So you have to keep that in mind. And if you don't see side by side different projectors or different TVs, you are not going to understand the color gamut difference directly. If you have experience, eyes like me, if you have tried a lot of projectors with HDR and whatnot, so you're going to realize the difference. But other than that, if you don't see it side by side, you're not going to be realizing that color gamut issue. And one other thing is, I made a comparison video with the 65-inch TV in the 65-inch size. You can use this projector quite a bit of like TV style if you go about 65-inch to 70-inch, if you're going to use it in the kids room. But the latency is 174 to 180, I guess 86. So you got like 170 to 180 plus ish millisecond delay. So it's not ideal for gaming, but you won't be noticing that while watching content online like Amazon Prime, Netflix, and YouTube and stuff. For my gaming experience, I want to share my experience with the Xbox Series X. I played the Forza Horizon 5. When you dedicated your eyes to the card, there's no problem, but when you look entire picture, then the left and right sides just feels like there is a delay. But of course, if your eyes are used to play with the gaming monitors like 144 Hz, kind of like high ends, or something like my TV like 144 Hz with the FreeSync, then you are automatically going to see this is not a fast-paced game compatible projector. But basically, I played a Skyforce style shoot 'em up game with the up top view angle, like you are running with a plane and firing stuff. So Skyforce was a fun game for me, and I also played a little bit of like platform games with the Xbox Series X, and you can also play Tomb Raider style third-person games. But if you're going to play FPS, this is not a definitely device for you. You have to go around 20 to 30 millisecond range of projectors. So if we summarize everything, this is not ideal for gaming, but you can casually game like me. I didn't have any problems, and I didn't felt any big problem like my Xiaomi 4K ultra short throw projector. That projector had a 90 millisecond delay, but latency, but that projector created some sort of a choppiness extra because of the CPU and GPU combination inside. Internal frame rate was fixed to the 60, and it created the choppy effects of everything. This doesn't do anything like this. I'm comparing it to $1,500 4K Xiaomi projector here. So let's get clear again. This is a quite lot cheaper projector compared to the others. Build quality is good. Noise level, considering, I guess the noise level from 22 centimeters to 24 centimeters, roughly 32 decibels. You won't be hearing it once you open up the volume, just a little bit, just 1, 2, maybe 5%. If you go above like 15%, you're not going to hear the fan noise. But there is a fan noise, of course, if you're going to put it above your head when you're asleep. From my point of view, I didn't show it in the video because it's going to take another section. Let's make it clear. You're going to use the internal Android most of the time, and if you put it right to the ceiling like this, it can stand by its own. That's a good feature, I guess, because the fans are intakes on left to right, so you won't be pushing any bad air ventilation scenario for this. You won't be able to connect maybe your power cable, but if you put a box beneath it, because the power cable is here. One more good stuff is about power cable is 2-socket version, classic one, so that way you can have a cheap cable, and you can get a lot longer cable from not from Wanbo maybe, but you can buy a lot longer cable from outsourced third-party manufacturers, and you can place this product anywhere. One thing is lacking is the tripod jack, and I haven't checked beneath the legs. Maybe there is a hole beneath these silicone legs, but you don't need it because it's making auto corrections and everything. You just need to find a place, something like a bookshelf for this, and you are quite okay. I believe I've covered everything. If you have questions, you can ask. I've been playing with this thing about probably a week, and this review took a lot of time of my life, and a thumbs up and like and subscribe will be good, and comment will be great. Just say thanks, because YouTube loves really comments, and if you ask and if I give answers to you, the probably channel will grow a lot faster. And my battery is running out from the camera. My personal battery is running out late at 2 o'clock at night. So hope to see you in the next video, home cinema and tech review. And if you're wondering about projectors, some cinema equipment, this is my hobby channel. It's not a paid channel extremely. By the way, don't forget the code beneath this video's description. There is a discount code, don't miss it. And also it will be helping my channel, and also it will help you to get the best price for this Wanbo X5. And I guess I covered everything. So hope to see you in the next video. Bye.